Boom. It is 8 a.m. Tuesday, March 28th. My hair is warped, but we're here to talk about some NBA. Today, we'll be talking to you about Immaunel Quickley dropping a 40 bomb, the man who went to the John Carroll School, which is about 10 minutes away from my hometown. We had Jaden McDaniels lead the Minnesota Timberwolves to a win. And we also had the Los Angeles Clippers with Eric Gordon and Nicholas Batum leading them away to a win. We had Nikola Jokic win the MVP last night after Joel Embiid pussied out and didn't show up. And that's probably going to be held against him because a lot of people had said the Joel Embiid and Jokic matchup was going to be the game they decided on who they'd vote for in a way. Like, that's like people have said.
And you're talking about the person who said that.
I mean, Jokic is going to.
Is a big bad idiot.
Well, Jokic is probably going to win it. I mean, Embiid. I think Jokic retook the odds this morning. I'm pretty sure he took the odds. Yeah, he took the odds back this morning. Embiid's the new favorite. I mean, not Embiid. Jokic is the new favorite, or back to being the favorite. And then you also have the Bucks and the Pelicans looking fantastic, I guess you could say. I mean, the Pelicans got to win, but did you know I completely forgot the Pelicans last year were the 10th seed?
Were they really?
Someone commented that Pelicans. Let me make sure.
Who did they take down?
Maybe I'm wrong. They were the 8th seed, but either way, they were a playing team.
I mean, that's what it's for.
Oh wait, no, I'm looking at this year's. Shut the fuck up.
They've won like 4 straight. They're higher than the Lakers now. I think the Lakers are 9.
So they actually last year went 36 and 46. Right. They're right now 38 and 37. It's a lot better than I remembered. But either way, they were a playing team. So I just want to sit here and be like, the Pelicans aren't that, they're better than last year, but like people acted like they were way better than last year for some reason.
Well, they are way better than last year.
No, last year were way better.
Oh. Yeah, I think
it's because they were on the
injuries.
And they went on that run last year, right? Because weren't they like 2 and like 20 at one point? They do the CJ McCollum trade, and then don't they go on like don't they win like 30 of their last 40 games or something like that? They were like, like how the Boston Celtics went on the run? The Pelicans went on their own mini run last year, right? That's why it was like, and it was Willie Green's rookie year coaching. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just remember like last year, the Pelicans, everyone was like, oh my God, like the Pelicans are on this run. And because then did they lose in the first round or did they lose in the second round?
They lost in the first round to the Phoenix Suns in 6 games.
6 games, that's what it was. They almost got to 7. I do remember that. I did have a recollection. All right, let's get right into Immaunel Quickley. And did you watch this game last night?
Against the Rockets?
Yeah, baby. Also, what's the whole Josh Christopher situation? I saw him apologize or come out on his Instagram saying I was not mocking my coach.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't mocking Silas. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense because I don't know why you would do that. I don't know who he was mocking, but the assistants were laughing and the players were laughing. So it doesn't really make much sense that he would make fun of Silas. But that's like,
what was the situation? Did you watch it when it went down?
A lot like Steven Silas. I have a video up on Twitter, but yeah, I mean, it's just the Rockets don't win games, so maybe I don't know who he was mocking. Like, I literally don't know who he was mocking. The other coach, I don't know. He got subbed out, and yeah, I don't know who he could have been mocking. But it doesn't make sense that he would mock Steven Silas with the whole team right there. Like, that's kind of
Steven Silas was just pissed off because this man Immaunel Quickley just dropped
last week. So.
Wait, the Josh Christopher thing?
Yeah.
Well, then why was he responding to it today?
I think it took a while for Twitter world to get it going.
Oh, okay. I understood it as it occurred last night, and I couldn't find anything from the Rockets game online because I thought it was from the Rockets game. So either way, Immaunel Quickley, the man from my hometown. Well, he's like 10, 15 minutes north of me. But the John Carroll alumni, Immaunel Quickley, dropped 40. What was your thoughts on this game tonight? And were you as impressed as I was?
Oh my goodness, I can't wait for the playoffs. 40 pieces aren't 40 pieces anymore, which sucks. Otherwise, this would have been really cool. It is cool, good for IQ. He's a great player. And, we've been seeing him take off a lot more consistently recently.
Mm-hmm.
But I say this every damn time. Like, if you want a career high, play the Houston Rockets. We see it every single night. As a Rocket fan, you see this every single night. And it's so annoying, but last night's loss secured us having a worst three record in the NBA. So It's all good, but I think really, it's good for a guy like IQ to get this 40-point game heading into the playoffs. Not that he's not really the type of guy I think needs a 40 piece to like.
No, but it's good that he has it. And it's good to have it to know that he's capable of it, and like you said, the confidence.
He's capable of it, though. I don't like that's what I'm saying, but I don't think IQ's the type of player who's like, yeah, like I know.
Oh no. I meant from like a coaching staff perspective. Like
I mean, we've been seeing this though, like all
season.
That's why I'm like, and you're playing the Rockets. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna check Quickley's stats here, but yeah, I mean,
Quickley's stats averaging like 20 since the All-Star break. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's what I'm thinking here, and like he had 38 against Boston. Like, yeah,
he did have 38.
I think they know what they have. But yeah,
38 like a week ago against Boston.
That was like a month ago, but yeah.
Was it really? Damn, time flies.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Listen to this bullshit. A little tidbit off the side. So my girlfriend she's heard back from one of the Miami schools, and that's like basically she has 2 weeks. Like all the law schools have till April 15th to accept your letter, like your admissions. That's like also for graduate school. But Miami and Denver haven't responded to her yet, and she has like 2 weeks till they can respond, or she's just gonna accept the school in Fort Lauderdale she got into, because that's like, you know what I mean. But I was just like, this is so stupid. She applied like 2.5 months ago, and they're literally gonna send her an acceptance letter or decline letter a week before the deadline, and just be like, here's a week to decide your life.
Yeah. That sucks.
No, I just find it fucking mind blowing, and it's kind of how Immaunel Quickley. Do you think they'll be able to keep Immaunel Quickley? Now, this is something I want to bring up. Is let's go down the road, and we expect in 2 years, and this was a problem. We heard Immaunel Quickley get shopped during the season, and the reason they were shopping him is they don't believe they'll be able to pay him. Is because they're already going to have Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle. They're hoping to trade for a superstar. They just put RJ Barrett on the books. So people don't realize once you got 3 or 4 long-term big contracts, that's when the rest of the players, you got to start picking and choosing which players' skills are easier replaced and which ones are expendable and non-expendable. And do you think Quickley might be a guy, even if he's beloved in New York, that unless he, takes a superstar jump to like a Jalen Brunson or to an all-star level jump, do you think the Knicks might be in their best interest to move on from him before, if they can't re-sign him?
I mean, that would be like this summer.
Yeah.
I would rather move on from RJ than IQ, to be honest with you.
No, I get you. I agree completely. I I know there's going to be in a market for IQ. We remember there was they were asking for a first-round pick before he exploded because they were looking to package him with Evan Fournier.
He was already doing pretty good. Like, teams know IQ is a possible star in the league.
Do you think he's untouchable?
I doubt anybody on the Knicks is untouchable.
Really? Not
Except
even
maybe
Brunson?
Jalen Brunson.
Okay,
I mean, maybe. I don't.
And Grimes, maybe?
Definitely not. No way.
Okay. So you don't think anyone on the Knicks is untouchable except for Brunson? Maybe.
Yeah, I guess more of a probably than a maybe. It's such a nice contract.
It is a really good contract.
I love Jalen Brunson, but imagine you could get like Damian Lillard. Like, you think at that point Jalen Brunson's untouchable? I don't know. I don't think so. But that's the same way
if you looked at Jaylen Brown, like, if you could get Kevin Durant for like trade Jaylen Brown. For Kevin
exactly.
Durant,
yeah.
It goes back to that argument. You would obviously go for Kevin Durant. So so you're saying if the right deal came across, if some team in the offseason on draft night was like, here's 2 unprotected first-round picks with this year's lottery pick.
Whoa. I think they would take it.
If it's a ridiculous deal like that.
That's just a really good deal. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a very good deal. But we're just saying we're a deal where they're just like, guys, I don't know if we can pass this deal up. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because the team calls him, goes, hey, he's going into the last year of his deal. He's asking for $25 a year. You guys don't want to pay $25 a year, so here's 1 protected first and another unprotected first. You know, and if they're trying to especially if they're trying to make a deal for a superstar and they need more picks, that's a deal I could see happening.
IQ is also a nice guy to have in a deal. Like, if they can, because if you're trading him for a star and that team, whatever that team is getting rid of a star, I mean, it might mean more of a rebuild for them.
Brian Windhorst said that the Knicks have enough assets with draft assets and players and contracts to make 2 separate trades for superstars while retaining Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle on the roster. They could trade everybody else on the roster and keep Brunson and Randle and still be able to bring in 2 superstars.
Let me do a quick Google search before I say anything more. I do want to see where Brian Windhorst, he said.
Yeah, Brian Windhorst.
Let's see where he's born. Akron, Ohio. Okay.
Oh,
he's not a biased Knicks fan.
You know Brian Windhorst is famous because he's the guy inside LeBron James's camp. That's why he's famous.
Brian Windhorst is inside LeBron's camp?
Yeah, he's from Akron, Ohio. He's been covering LeBron since LeBron's first playing days. That's why Brian Windhorst.
In his camp? Ooh. So LeBron trusts Brian Windhorst?
Yes.
Ooh, that's wild. Wendy's a guy who gets these he gets big scoops, but I don't.
We both agree.
Pretty grimy.
In the last 2 years, he's grimy. In the last 2 years, he's kind of been an industry plant. Like, I never saw Wendy on TV, but in the past 2 years,
he got a lot.
Really?
Yeah. He'd be like, maybe like he'd be, what was it, like Pardon
My Take?
Around the Horn, like Around the Horn. He'd be like on those types of shows when I was growing up.
Really?
So
I never noticed him.
Fat boy.
Yeah, I never noticed him until 2 years ago. Like before last season, I noticed him. He really went mainstream when he did this, when he was trending.
Yeah.
With what's going on in Utah. That he was trending so hard when he did that.
Yeah, apparently they cultivated a close friendship while he covered his tenure.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, Brian Windhorst is basically the only reason he's like famous is because like him and like LeBron trusts him.
Well, they attended the same high school. That's
what?
Cool.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
So wait, how are they the same age?
I don't know.
How old is Brian Windhorst?
Not that old. He doesn't look that old.
I mean,
but also not that young.
Brian Windhorst looks like
LeBron.
Shit. Brian Windhorst.
Well, it's because he's fat.
You know what? We don't judge people by their weights. We're just saying he looks like shit, regardless if he was fat or not. I mean, he probably looked a lot better if he was skinny.
Well, that's not. It's not a problem. He would. But
Uh,
I get it. This isn't a Windhorse channel. Yeah, I mean, none of this matters. So, but like, it doesn't look. LeBron doesn't really have deep relationships with reporters, so Uh, I don't know if like any. It's not like he's gonna text him like, hey, Windy, what's up?
Brian Windhorst lives in Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska by choice.
Omaha, where?
Nebraska by choice.
I think that it actually sounds kind of nice, man.
That just sounds like the most Brian Windhorst thing ever. I'll have
I
myself
don't. I've never been to
Omaha
Nebraska.
steaks 3
Where
times
is
a day.
Nebraska?
Nebraska's right above Kansas to the right.
Where's Kansas? Anybody know where Kansas is?
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know where Kansas is?
I live in Kansas.
Yeah, so where is it?
Okay, by the way, Thomas Perry, we have figured out Brian Windhorst is 7 years older than LeBron. LeBron's 38. Yeah. LeBron James is 38 years old, right? 38?
20?
You're 20, 38, yeah.
I thought he just
Brian, 38 39. Brian Windhorst is 45. Brian Windhorst is 45. So Brian Windhorst and LeBron James never shared high school classrooms at all. Brian Windhorst was a 20-year-old man looking at freshman LeBron James. That's fucking weird.
Wait, no, your math is completely wrong.
When Brian Windhorst was 20 years old, LeBron
you're
James,
saying a 20-year-old Windhorst. Okay.
Yeah,
I was watching LeBron James.
14-year-old LeBron James was licking his chops.
I don't get. Not everything is sexual. People cover sports because they like sports and they want to watch young talent. I like watching high school basketball.
Okay,
I also don't like to fiddle
that's
with
what the
young boys.
Catholic Church said. They were just watching. I don't know where I was going. I said that's what the Catholic Church said.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, the Catholic Church said they were just watching these little clergy boys.
Yeah,
next thing you know,
man.
Yeah, next thing you know, they're playing with the wrong balls.
Classic.
I don't know why I just got so mad over that.
There is no way, even though Windhorst was 6 years older than him, there's no way at any point in LeBron James's life he's ever looked at Windhorst and been like, that's a cool guy.
Oh, yeah, no, LeBron.
Never.
LeBron has never been like, this guy is cool. It's just like, what's up, Windy? He's probably like the guy that, like, LeBron used to give, like, a candy bar because he thought Windhorst was going to come in with a sawed-off shotgun one day and start clearing out rooms, like, and then LeBron was just hoping when that day did come, when Brian Windhorst came into the room that LeBron was, he's going to see LeBron and go, thanks for the candy bar, and then, like, dip out that room. And not kill LeBron.
Have tools in his trunk, so you never know.
If there was anyone on ESPN who was going to be a school shooter, it is Brian Windhorst.
I won't say school shooter, but I will say serial killer.
Yes. Brian Windhorst would go kill Malika Andrews, Rachel Nichols. He would. Brian Windhorst is like
a little too personalized. Yeah, I don't think he actually will. Or I hope not, Malika. She's my favorite.
Really? I'm more of a Kendra. She seems more submissive.
Kendra Perkins.
No, Kendra. Malika's little sister.
Malika has a little sister on ESPN?
Yeah, you didn't know this?
Does it get passed down when you get a job at ESPN? Does it just get passed down to generations? Probably not.
You've never seen this? I'm just kidding. Malika's way more attractive than Kendra.
But who's Kendra?
The one on the
Kendra
right.
Andrews.
Yeah, Kendra Andrews. Nepotism.
Kind of seems a little crazy. Nepotism. See, that was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, it's nepotism.
This is nepotism. Oh, is she a Warriors cover reporter?
Yeah, like.
Oh, sweet.
Just follow her LinkedIn. Look at like.
I don't want to do that.
But no, it's not. It's nepotism. Like Malika deserved. I'm pretty sure it was Malika who deserved it. Either way, I mean, we live in a day and age where I'm obviously all for diversity. Like I'm a diversity hire. Like I'm aware of that. And like Malika and Kendra, they were like they deserved it, but like a lot of people don't like like say they're diversity hires, and then like the reason they were hired together was like nepotism. Yeah, that's why Rachel Nichols. You remember when Rachel Nichols got fired, or was she fired, or was she reassigned? She was fired, right?
It was probably the latter.
Reassigned,
yeah,
because she was
something.
2 years
I'm
ago.
all for nepotism, though.
Oh,
I'm all word of mouth hires. Like if you had a brother, let's get him on as the Clipper.
I had a family member who worked in Hollywood. Your boy would be hitting up that family member in Hollywood to get me a job in Hollywood. That
explains a lot. Oh. This is theoretical. You don't have a brother in Hollywood.
I don't have a brother in Hollywood. but if I had a brother or like a family member who lived in Hollywood and was in the film industry, I would
what are you doing here?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I have no problem with nepotism or anything like that. I was like, climb the ladder up how you can. Just don't forget about the people at the bottom when you get up there, But let's actually talk basketball. Jaden McDaniels had a great game last night. I don't know. Did you watch the game last night?
He's gonna be at least a star. Well, Cyro, your take doesn't look too bad after 24 hours now, does it? I'm just poking fun at you because I think I think you're right about Jalen McDaniels. I just thought it was a funny way to word it. But yeah, he's a stud, man. No cat. And you're playing Sacramento, right? And Sacramento's trying to clinch that seed or the playoffs. They're pretty much secured in at 3 right now. I think Sacramento's probably taking it a little bit easy. Their foot's still on the gas, but instead of going like 90, they're probably going like 80 to 85. So that's a highway reference, not energy, and not like out of 100. But
well, you phrase it right because like people, the last game of the NFL season for the teams that have already clinched or basically are in the playoff or who don't care about their seeding, they kind of rest their players. Like some of the teams don't even play their players while the other ones only play them a little bit. And I think this is where we're getting to that part of the NBA season where the top teams that don't have to worry about their seeding in the playoffs, like you said, they're taking the pedal off the gas for these last couple games because they're like, hey, it doesn't matter if we win or lose these last 5 games. We're already a top 6 seed, or our seeding is already determined. So let's not risk injury.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. Like mine's a highway reference, not saying they're going 80. Like if it's out of 100, they're probably going 90 now.
Good.
I don't know what you're saying. Like if I'm Darren Fox, like, I don't need to have my foot on the gas every time I have the ball now. They're still trying hard because you don't want bad habits to form. You still want to go into the postseason on a high note, but it's not do or die. And it's not even do or die for Minnesota, but it kind of is because you never know with the Western Conference. You're trying to climb up the seeds. So I believe, isn't Minnesota the 6th seed now? Like these games are way bigger to Minnesota than they are for Sacramento right now. But you see it's weird because it's like when a coach gets fired, Cat is arguably one of their best players. I feel like guys step up when one of their best players is out because they're like, or maybe we're not expected to, this is a good opportunity.
Timberwolves are currently the 6th seed because they are tied with the same record as the Warriors, but because the tiebreaker would be their conference record. Timberwolves have a better conference record.
Is it really? It's not head to head.
Is it not head to head? I thought it's conference record they do to break it. I think they might have tied the head-to-head series unless they played 3 games. But
I don't know. Warriors just blew it against them.
Either way, because they have the same record and the Timberwolves are in front of them, that means whatever tiebreaker there is, the Timberwolves are winning that tiebreaker.
Yeah. So whatever. Yeah, that's a big ass deal.
Yeah,
for Minnesota.
Yeah,
like that's
huge.
That's like quite impressive.
Especially gives them, what is it, a week they get or 5 days for the play-in? Like
you get a couple more days. Yeah, you're
of
right.
rest because you gotta wait. Because you gotta wait for the playing games to play, and then you can
just get a break in general.
Yeah, because they do another give you like once the play-in ends. I think there's a day break before the playoffs start. So you get people don't realize it's not just being avoiding the play-in, you're getting basically a week over. You get a bye week, basically.
Yeah, that's what it's like. The Sacramento argument against this game, where it's like,
they had a 5-game.
We get a break. Yeah, so great win for Minnesota. Jalen McDaniels, Naz Reid in the wake. I think they're starting to click more with Gobert. They're clicking at the right time. You got teams like Minnesota, the Pelicans that are clicking at the right time, and they're going to make it interesting.
No, definitely. They're going to be a team that makes it really interesting. And last night, though, James Harden and Joel did not play against Nikola Jokic. I was so surprised. One thing I was surprised was there wasn't more shit talk on the internet about it.
There was. I saw a ton.
Maybe I was.
Because of Kendrick Perkins.
What? Okay, so explain. You are our social media boy. You're usually more in touch with.
I try to not go on social media much.
I know.
I hate social media.
I know, but you do a good job of staying with the stories sometimes.
I don't think I do.
Okay, you follow. You follow more.
That's my issue.
You follow more of the Kendrick Perkins type shit. I don't. I follow more of the Jays. You follow more of the.
You're right. I'm on. Yeah, like just big time NBA.
Yeah, you're on. You follow networks. I follow NBA journalists. That's the difference. Yeah. You know what's going on network sports television. I know more of the capital J side of it. So, what went on with Kendrick Perkins? That this whole thing, because Embiid and James Harden did not play last night. Correct me if I'm right.
Well, I think Harden's been out for a little bit, but basically, I think Kendrick Perkins just said like, "Yeah, I have MVP vote, and I'm gonna hold this against you," which I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid. Yeah, Harden's been out for about 8 days now, or it was about a week last night.
Well, what I want to say is I know a lot of journalists that I've listened on, like Chris Haynes and Mark Stein, Seth Parnell, a couple of the other athletic guys. For the people that I heard with the votes, obviously they said not one. This is just one game. One game does not decide the MVP race, and that the MVP race is a three-headed race between Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic. And it's become this disgusting thing about race. And when it just isn't about that. And the thing is that if they said if there was a game that, voters were going to use as a deciding point, it was this Embiid Jokic game that people were very much hoping to see them. And the one tweet I saw was that, was this Kendrick Perkins who said that Embiid didn't want the smoke or something?
Might have been.
I saw that on Twitter. Someone going Embiid didn't want the smoke.
Yeah, I think Joel Embiid's the last person to dodge smoke. Didn't he say against Draymond Green that's why he went off for 46 is because Draymond said Jokic is the hardest player to guard?
Really? I did not know that. That makes sense, though.
So, yeah, let's rewind the clock back actually to 2 months ago on this day. And this is when I realized, Denver's not winning the championship. So Nikola Jokic stat line, it's not that bad, 24, 8, and 9. But Mr. Joel Embiid with a game winner at 47, 18, 5, 3, and 2. It was so evident. Nikola Jokic can't guard a guy like Joel Embiid. It's crazy. I mean, when I view an MVP as the best player on the best team who's having a career year, I think Giannis should have been MVP last year. And if Giannis was MVP last year, sure, Jokic can have the MVP this year. I don't think Jokic is having that much crazier of a season this year than he did last year. Oh, he's shooting 63% from the field. Joel Embiid's shooting 55%. They play different styles of basketball. I think if it's a head-to-head matchup, Joel Embiid is worldly better in a 1v1 against Nikola Jokic, and we see it every time they play. Jokic cannot guard Joel Embiid. Nobody can guard Joel Embiid. It's also hard to guard Jokic. I think MVP is either Embiid or Giannis.
So
I don't think it's Jokic.
Player efficiency right now, Jokic is 0.3 ahead of Embiid, and he is almost 4 points in front of Giannis. His win share is 15.1. Guess how much more that is than the second closest person. He's 15.1. The second closest person's 11.6 with Joel Embiid, who's tied with Domantas Sabonis for 11.6. Fourth place, you won't even guess who's the fourth highest win share in the NBA this season.
Wait, let me guess.
Take a guess. You won't. It's
Have a hint.
it. Huh?
Wait, I don't need a hint.
Okay. His team does not have a top record in the NBA, but they are a playoff team. Yeah.
It's not Ja.
No. Ja's not even in the top 15.
I'm gonna get it in one guess.
He's been going off since the All-Star break. He typically doesn't start playing basketball till the All-Star break. Jimmy Butler has the fourth highest win share.
Idiot, yeah.
His win share is high, and guess who's the fifth? Shea. Okay, Jimmy Butler and Shea have higher win shares than Luka Doncic, Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Jarrett Allen, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Lauri Markkanen, Nick Claxton, and Donovan Mitchell, who are 6 through 15. So the top 5 win shares in the NBA in 1 through 5 is Nikola Jokic with 15.1, Joel Embiid with 11.6, Domantas Sabonis with 11.6, Jimmy Butler with 11.2, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 10.6, and sixth place is 9.8. So Jokic's win share stats means he basically is almost double, almost 50%. Him being on the floor creates almost 50% more wins than Joel Embiid being on the floor.
Is that because the Nuggets have no bench at all except for one player?
I think it's a combination of the on-off numbers
because they don't have a bench at all.
I think it's also because they don't have a guy to replace Embiid. I'm not Embiid, my apology. Jokic in the lineup. You remember the whole argument why Boogie should be brought back, because Boogie's numbers when they would take Jokic off, he's been the only center since Jokic has been like this insane MVP player that has been able to keep it's supposedly the Nuggets, when Jokic comes off the floor, they literally drop off drastically. But Boogie has been the only center to be able to not have like a super steep drop off and actually kind of like keep the level of play, because like Cousins can do a poor man's Jokic impression because similar play style, like Boogie was a passing big.
I don't know. I mean, the Nuggets are the third best team in the NBA record-wise. So
Will this conversation, if Jokic goes on and wins the NBA championship, will this argument be still valid?
If Jokic wins the championship this year
and plays Kevin Love NBA Finals defense
and beg for his forgiveness.
All right. We shall see.
This is not happening. Not yet. I know a cat named Chris Paul, and I don't like the Phoenix Suns because of their fan base. I know some cool Suns fans, though, so I hate saying that. But anyways, it's because of the Warriors. If the Phoenix Suns play the Denver Nuggets in the second round of the playoffs, goodbye, Mike Malone. You're about to be fired, and the Denver Nuggets will lose.
All right. What did you watch last night? The Clippers game. Nick Batum said, "I'm gonna turn back the clock. I'm gonna turn back the clock." You remember back in the day when I played for the Portland Trailblazers and averaged 15 points a game for 5 years straight, and then got myself $150 million from the Charlotte Hornets? Yeah, I do. Turn back the clock.
Charlotte.
All right.
What are you gonna do with you? Yeah, Nicholas Batum, 8 of 10. What are you, Luke Kennard? That game was infuriating. The Bulls didn't play great brand of basketball. They've been really good about turning the ball over, and they were just loving them turnovers last night. If Batum didn't exist, the game probably goes a little bit differently. But yeah, I mean, the Clippers showed their depth last night. So
Eric Gordon.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon. All right. Eric Gordon were people. Okay, first off, the second year, probably the third year that I was really into the NBA was the trade for Chris Paul. And I remember because this was like around the same time for Dwight Howard when they were talking about him going to the Nets, and then he was eventually sent to the Lakers. People forgot Eric Gordon was an all-star, right, for the Clippers that one year where he averaged 22 a game. It's just kind of funny that he's back. Huh? Sorry. He was back. It's crazy that Eric Gordon back on the Clippers, and through 17 games now, the guy's actually been on fire, like averaging 11.5 points in 25 minutes, 45% from the field, 48 from the field, 45 from three, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. I think Eric Gordon, thank God the man's been released.
Thank God Rock fans don't want him. I don't want him. Eric Gordon's so much better suited for the bench, so I still say get Terrence Mann back.
He looks happy. He looks happy. People don't realize that last year in Houston, you just saw Eric Gordon. He was just like, fuck this shit. He's like, I'm going in there. I'm just jacking up my shots. He's like, I'm going in there. I'm doing my thing. I don't give a crap. His last
he jacks it when he gets the ball or drives. Eric Gordon's a great hooper. He's great depth for this Clippers team. And he'll turn back the clock for sure on a good portion. And without Paul George.
Wait, I wanted to bring something up. Is this a team? Are we going to find another team? Because what was it? When they went on that run, was Paul George healthy when they went to the Western Conference Finals?
Didn't Kawhi get injured?
Kawhi got injured. Paul George stayed healthy. That's what I was making sure. What if Paul George misses the playoffs and they go to the Western Conference Finals this time with Kawhi? There's just turns out we're only good with one star because for some reason when one star gets hurt, the rest of the players figure out their roles.
I hope the Clips make the Western Conference Finals.
We'll make our preseason predictions look a lot better.
Yeah.
I know we had Clippers versus, I think, Celtics in the finals. I think that's what both of those have not aged well. The Celtics for most of the season was good, but then I don't even think we had the Celtics.
I think I've had the Warriors all season. I think my preseason was Nets Bucks, or I think it was Nets Warriors.
I know we had Clippers at least making the Western Conference Finals. We had Clippers.
I thought last my one in the first ever Jeopardy ranking.
Like our last power rankings, like for before the season starting, we consistently have Clippers going into the season where we're like this team's loaded.
Yeah, on paper, especially now with Bones, EG, and Mason Plumlee, on paper, it's like, whoa. But when you have these many mouths to feed, you got a guy like Ty Lue where he's like, I don't know what the fuck to do sometimes.
Do you think this is the last season of the Kawhi Paul George era?
Well, now the whole Paul George injury gives him a great little.
Shut the hell up. We've waited 4 years for them to be
That's
healthy.
what I'm saying. This happens every single year. I get behind this mic. Every time the Clippers get on a run, I say this every damn time, and everyone's the Clippers get injured every year in the playoffs around this time. Somebody goes down.
I'm done waiting.
Every year. Every single year. I don't think a guy like Kawhi is going to be like, get me the hell out of here because he's home. A Paul George trade, I don't know. I don't even really want to speculate on it till it happens because I don't know. I really don't know. This team just they're just never healthy at the right time. So, yeah, it sucks, but
I just say
staying alive.
4 years we've been waiting. Just need 1 year for them to be healthy. 1 year. Yeah. Next year's going to be the year. Guess what? After 4 years, I'm done saying next year's the year.
Paul torn shoulder George. And I love Paul George, but shit happens.
No, I agree. So let's move over to a team that we kind of talked about. And this is a squad that they're missing their superstar, a guy who's only played 28.5 games for his career. A season. But last night, a guy who they. You know what's crazy? Kevin Durant said that if he had to say if there was any NBA player in the league that reminded him of his game, he said it was Brandon Ingram, but he's not a young guy anymore. Which when he said that, I was like, damn, bro, I'm old. If like Brandon Ingram's not a young guy anymore. Like I remember when Brandon Ingram was drafted. Yeah, I know. Like Ingram was drafted. I remember everyone. That's another thing, dude. Ingram was drafted at 195 pounds, and everyone was like, he just needs to get that weight up. All right, when he was drafted, like I remember, and he guess how much Brandon Ingram weighs. You know, he's 25. He's been in the league for what, 8 seasons now? Is it?
I guess 211.
He's been in this is his 7th season in the league. All right, you ready? You ready for how much he weighs? He came into the 211. He came into the league at, I'm pretty sure 190. He's still at 190.
Good for him. He's the truth, man. He's a straight up hooper, and he's got these Pellies running. Trey Murphy,
Brandon Ingram lost weight. Brandon Ingram weighed in at 196 pounds at the combine. He weighs 190. He just said, "Fuck it, I'm never putting on muscle."
Yeah, I mean, when you're giving me 25 a night, it's like, all right, you can do as you please.
I thought he would have gone up to 220 by now.
220. I think 220 might be a little too big.
210 was the right size.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This team they're good, and they just need a healthy Zion. And theoretically,
TP, love you. We always love you when you're here, baby.
In theory, a Zion return could happen. And who knows what's going to happen if that happens. There will be some issues at first.
What is your expectation for this team if Zion does not return playoff wise?
Well, I hate saying another competitive first round, but if I don't want to sound like being a broken record because I don't believe in Denver Nuggets.
Pelicans are on a 5-game win streak without Zion Williamson right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying is if I don't think they'd beat the Warriors in the first game of the play-in. So I think they'd have to take down the Lakers or the Thunder. And I think any of the 4 teams, Golden State, New Orleans, Los Angeles, or OKC, maybe not OKC, I think they're going to give Denver a run. When your best player is injured, you have to keep your expectations in check. So like a second-round playoff berth would be huge for this team. But they're still building the pieces. They're still a good team. So it's just – I don't know, man. Their best player's out. If Zion was here, a first-round exit isn't as sexy. But, that 6 seed is still there. They're half a game out from Minnesota. So things can be subject to change. I don't know. Just give it your all. How does that sound? Just try your best and have fun.
Okay. I think if this team goes on a deep playoff run, that's good for Zion because if they go on a deep playoff run, they're like, then that puts in the head of the execs and everyone like, damn, if Zion was there, that deep playoff run might have turned into a championship. But if they're a first round exit, that's not a competitive series. Do you think that makes the team? Either way, I think Zion gets one more season. And if he has another season where he misses the entire, a good, like how he did this year, I think that's when the hard question is actually brought up.
And we'll deal with that when it comes.
You agree one more season of Zion? Before,
yeah, for sure. If Zion comes back.
Well, they said they're hoping he comes back, but it's a hamstring injury, right?
They play Denver or Memphis in the first round.
Or Golden State.
I mean, first round of the playoffs if they get past playing.
Oh, yeah, because
they're even in the plan.
Yeah, or Sacramento.
You don't want to play New Orleans with Zion, don't they?
It'd be
I
interesting.
don't care what team you are. You don't want it.
You definitely don't want it. You definitely don't want to play against Zion Williamson. But we
They
also
could
don't
win
know
it.
what Zion we're gonna get.
You want to know what Zion you're gonna get? You're gonna get a 27-7-5. So I think back to when the Pelicans had the 1 seed earlier this year when Zion was healthy. I think an upset could be brewing.
I have to say though, I think the Bucks are the favorites right now.
The Bucks have been, I think, the favorites for like 2 months. I don't know why people don't really. I think people realize it. I think the Chris Middleton injury had people thinking like, oh, maybe if he comes back at the same form,
which took some time.
he's back at the same form. Yeah, then, but yeah, it's which is expected. Yeah, the Bucks. I don't really see them not going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bucks are looking like the Kansas City Chiefs of the NBA, where
They kind of do.
You're just like, it's kind of their race to lose at this point. And
Yeah.
I'm not even necessarily a Bucks fan. And the reason I say this is there was a tweet last night I saw. It was a picture of Curry, Durant, Embiid, and Giannis, and it says, "Who's the worst player out of here?" And someone tweeted, "Is like, if for all the people saying Embiid's the worst, it was like, you're so wrong. It's Giannis." I was like, I'm not even a Giannis fan, but Giannis is if he had a 40% 3-point shot, Giannis would be arguably the most complete NBA player in NBA history. There would be, if Giannis Antetokounmpo had Giannis Antetokounmpo in an interview, Giannis, his older brother, in an interview with Mark Stein, said this to Mark Stein: Giannis Antetokounmpo's current goal of his career is not to win, obviously besides winning championships, is not to win another MVP, not to win Defensive Player of the Year, but he wants to win Most Improved Player of the Year at his current play. He wants to get so much better than he already is, that he wins. That somehow voters vote him Most Improved Player because he got so much better than he already is. That's his current goal in the NBA, is to be the only player to win Most Improved Player of the Year after winning MVP.
I think if we did a 2K franchise for next year and they made the NBA season 21 games, I don't think it's far-fetched to think Giannis would go for 40.
Giannis would go for 50.
Most improved award.
Giannis would go for 60. Giannis would be Wilt. There would be Wilt. Giannis would have Wilt stats if there was 20 games a year. If Giannis had a playoff series length of an NBA regular season, Giannis would just be averaging 50 a game.
The Milwaukee Bucks are so freaking good. You have the perfect point guard. You have the perfect superstar. You have the perfect closer in Chris Middleton. You have the perfect big men. You have the perfect role players in Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton, Joe Ingles. This team just like they're so good. I would be baffled if they don't make it to the NBA Finals. And that's what's so crazy is I love watching the series last year against the Boston Celtics. Like the Bucks, I think it was a coin flip. I think if they redid Game 6, I don't know, and that they know without Chris Middleton, man, they're too good.
I think the Kansas City Chief argument that I said a few seconds ago is so valid, because this is it's kind of how everyone goes. It's like every season since Patrick Mahomes has been God. Okay, like Giannis Antetokounmpo, people want a comparison, and I use football all the time, but that's the best way to compare stuff, because people. I had a teacher once compare it. He's like, baseball is who we are, football is who we want to be. And it's because he's like, football players are like gladiators from ancient Rome. Everyone wants to be a football player, but not everyone can be a football player. While baseball is who we are, it's perfect. There's 4 bases, there's 3 outs. And the thing with basketball is, you look at this, and since Giannis has been this guy, and since when they've won the championship, it's Literally last year, the reason they didn't win was because they didn't have Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez was still recovering from this. But this year, I mean, they have 3 guys who are going to make all defensive NBA teams. And Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
You got an MVP candidate. You got a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. You got a guy who should be in the Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Drew Holiday. He's arguably the best perimeter defender in the entire NBA. Without a doubt. Like, I'd fight someone over that. There's only like Jaden McDaniels might be in there. You know, I don't know what I don't know what Draymond Green does that Dylan Brooks doesn't.
Vetoed.
I like start choking off of that. They're like, but no, I think if you look right here, the Bucks, especially with Chris Middleton, and you know the reason we didn't say this earlier was because Chris Middleton wasn't looking like his full self. But over the last month, the Bucks had an 18-game win streak, man. I don't think a team besides the Bucks had more than a 10-game win streak. I think the only other team was the Brooklyn Nets with KD and Kyrie.
Yeah. Teams have sniffed it.
I think the Nets had the second longest win streak this season.
Yeah, I wonder what Boston. I'm thinking Boston and Memphis, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure Brooklyn longest win streaks this NBA season. All right. Yeah, 16 games from the Milwaukee Bucks, 12 games from the Brooklyn Nets, 11 games from the Memphis Grizzlies. The Celtics did 9 games twice. Nuggets did 9 games once. Bucks did 9 games once. So yeah. Brooklyn Nets won 12 games straight from December 7th to January 2nd.
And nobody really talked about it.
No one talked about it. That's fucking crazy. Alrighty. Let's cue up some music as we wrap up this.
Just get me to the playoffs, man. This Laker game tomorrow is going to be awesome. I wonder what's on the slate tonight. I'm hoping there's nothing. Celtics Wizards. Pelicans Warriors, great game. That's about it.
All right, the music's not. There we go. You ready? 4. Pirtle. Let's go. Is that Jackson Hayes? Or Kessler Edwards?
It's not Jimmy Butler. Yeah, that's. Yes. Chris Dunn. Yes. He's on the Pelicans, bro. That's Zion? No.
He was. Dyson Daniels.
Yeah. Damn it.
What happened to Dyson Daniels?
They're a really deep team, and when Brandon will miss some time, he'll come in and step up.
I just want to pull him up. Well, let's look at his splits. So pre-All-Star, yeah, he was playing way more minutes pre-All-Star. He was playing 20 minutes a night pre-All-Star break. Now he's playing like 15 and like shit. Damn.
Was that a McRib?
No, that's the QT. Slow and steady cooked.
I always wanted a McRib.
You've never had a McRib?
No.
For most of the stream, we had good numbers. Now they've dipped, but we had on here about 8 to 11 for most of the stream. We were bouncing between. I wonder what. The thing is this only shows me YouTube. This doesn't show me fucking Twitter or Facebook. I also have no idea how Facebook does. I don't check our Facebook numbers, but I probably should.
Yeah, I didn't know we had Facebook.
Yeah, we're live on Facebook and Twitter right now. I've also stomached the shit for the last 30 minutes, and I'm waiting to get to an hour so I can go drop it. But that may or may not come.
Yeah, it's a long 5 minutes.
That is a very long 5 minutes. Thankfully, I'm not turtle heading. That'd be fucked, bro. If I was starting to turtle head, I would not be happy. Be like in a prison. You know what's one of the best? Did you ever watch the Boondocks?
No.
So the Boondocks is like a show about these two black teenagers. It's an animated. I just gotta show you. I just gotta show you the Boondocks. I don't think there's any way for me to describe the Boondocks without just showing you.
Luka over Kyrie.
Luka over
I
Kyrie.
didn't know that was like a hot take.
All right here. Here we go. Best of Boondocks. All right, here we go. Oh, wow. I forgot I don't have my YouTube downloader on here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Download. Oh my God. Download, you fucking. I just want. There we go. I just want an inappropriate clip to play. All right, video file. Present. Video file. All right, recordings. Downloads. Here we go. You're about to laugh. You're about to laugh. I don't think you understand how hard you're about to laugh.
Hey man, you see my new iPhone?
I got one. I don't like this shit.
Shit, I love my iPhone. This shit can do anything and everything.
Yeah, everything except make a fucking phone call.
I remember when these shits first came out, man. Bitches would be coming up to you like, let me see that iPhone. Let me play with it. Let me stick it up my ass. Put it in my mouth. Suck on it. Then one day, you know, I got tired of all these questions, you know what I'm saying? I let the girl stick the iPhone up her butt. Took the doctors 12 hours to get it out. And you know what? It was still working. I love it. Where's the target?
Allah, make my testicles strong against the boot of the infidel.
Stewart.
Where's the target?
My gonads are indestructible. My penis shaft is strong like the oak tree.
It's so stupid.
His vitals are spiking. He can't take much more. We're just getting started.
No relation. In the name of white Jesus and all great white men who have come thereafter, I command our black nigger soul back to the depths of hell.
You never seen Boondocks?
Is that all you got, nigga? Oh, no, nigga.
You've never seen Boondocks? It's made by a guy from Maryland. They were gonna reboot it. They rebooted it, but the guy who voices Grandpa died, and they just couldn't. They just shelved it because they couldn't. They couldn't do the voice without. They couldn't do the reboot without the voice.
Dang.
Master Uga, yeah. You've never watched? Maybe that's just because I'm from Baltimore. So like, I have a lot of my black friends showed me that show, and like that was always a show we used to watch when we'd smoke weed like on a late night, like late as hell. I'd be at a friend's house and we'd just be smoking, and that show we'd always put on. I showed my the first year of dating. I showed my girlfriend that show. We watched it all the way through.
Nice.
I'm surprised you've never seen it. You have HBO Max?
No.
What are you? You know what movie I watched last night?
What?
What Happens in Vegas. Have you seen that one? What? What? You've never seen What Happens in Vegas, bro?
Yeah.
What do you do with your life?
I don't know. Evidently nothing.
Dude, I'm watching this movie called Big Bully. It made only $1 million off a $12 million budget. It's made by like this director I like, and it's like with Rick Moranis. It's not a good, not really that good of a movie, but man, is it entertaining. I'm about to finish it. All right. Love me some bad movies. All right. There's nothing like a bad film.
Ashton Kutcher and Cameron Diaz. I don't know what I've been doing.
Okay, I'm about to play you the trailer, bro. You
I
better
gotta cancel my day plans.
Yeah. It's on
What's this guy's name?
the bald-headed fuck?
Yeah, what's that guy's name?
I forget. I know exactly.
Bring him in, turn on the lights, and that's when you yell, surprise.
We need to talk. I don't want to marry you, Joy.
Oh, Jason Sudeikis is in this.
You guys hear that?
You're fired. Don't get me wrong, you're like a son to me. Dad, I am your son. Yeah. Here's the one place where you can step up and be a man.
Community college?
Where can you go to forget all your troubles?
Vegas!
Vegas!
Come on, one drink.
Your Vegas isn't exactly my Vegas.
Well, maybe it should be.
I'm not usually this much fun! I do, I take them.
You know what? I'll call you about the annulment.
Why don't you just email me?
We'll always have Vegas.
That was my quarter!
I put the quarter in the slot.
What's mine is yours, baby. Remember?
Marriage is about commitment. I am freezing the $3 million.
All right, that's gonna be the show, guys. I'm gonna peace out. I'll talk to you later.
Yep.
See you.